What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. It's time for an episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship that I secretly, memingly was hoping never came up. Just kidding. I have no problem with the eldest. They've just got the short end of the stick, like, constantly. In this series where we talk about deities and obediences and stuff, but today, by popular request, none other than the man, myth, thing, themselves, we're talking about the hooded lord, Ing? I'm gonna say Ing. I don't know how to say it. It is spelled NG. You know that. You know how reading works. Congratulations. Good on you. Reading. Anyway, if you're liking what you're seeing, like, subscribe, bang the bell. Requests go down there. Patronage let you skip to the top of a very long line. And today, this episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship was brought to you in part by Tomoya Nagase, who's done very well in Carrying Crown, seeing that the party kind of keeps having real life stuff and has to disappear on him. No more meat shields for that sorcerer. Be sure to check out our Carrying Crown playthrough if you want to see some sweet shadow sorcery, and thank you for your support for all this time, my friend. You're the best. Now, let's hit it. Okay, so like we've talked about a billion times so far on this channel, the Eldest are a group of super powerful fae in the first world. The gods abandoned it. Oh no, cycle of souls forever, can't die. Oopsie daisy. Eventually some of them get really powerful, so powerful they can pass out spells. Bang, there it is. All of them are very weird and different and not what you would expect, I think, when you think of magical fairyland, but that's part of what makes the first world as cool as it is. Who would have expected to see a Nazgul who accidentally bleached his robes on laundry day show up in the first world? In any case, taciturn and mysterious, Ing the Hooded is the patron of those wanderers who, unlike the happy-go-lucky Desnans, understand the seriousness of what they do. They're aware of the dangers of the open road, as well as the larger metaphysical dangers of, like, the consequences of freedom, basically. When you travel down the road and you meet another traveler who is veiled either by a literal hood or by, like, you don't know the dude, you never know what to expect. No one even knows what to expect from Ing himself, as even his most devout worshippers have no idea what's under the hood, or, like, what ends Ing is pursuing. Indeed, he rarely acknowledges his worshippers at all, leading some to question whether he's actually responsible for the spell granting. Nevertheless, he always appears as a humanoid figure draped in flowing silver robes that he bleached, and so Sauron kicked him out of Mordor, and now there's only 9 Nazgul. Right? That's canon. 'Cause I say it is! Haha! The only thing that's not covered are his hands, and his cowl shields his face in perpetual darkness. His voice always sounds male, which is how we get the aha, you must be male, much like some of the other Eldest who lack like a real physical humanoid form. And his voice is always dispassionate and detached. These seemingly aimless wanderings and inscrutable questions have led to many theories about his nature. Some assume Ing is a ghost. Some see the endless patience and think some kind of a construct or a clockwork creature. Others believe him to be a voice of the first world itself. Ing has heard all these, Ing has met all of them with stoic silence. Whatever his nature, whatever his motives, they remain solidly and silently his own. And on that note, let's hit the mechanical stuff, shall we? Now, we've got one set of boons, as all the Eldest do. Of course, that means we'll be whipping up 2 more homebrew ones here today. If you think you could do it better, put it in the comments. The Eldest of Seasons, Secrets, and Wanderers, of course, is true neutral. His domains are knowledge, magic, travel, and weather, with the subdomains exploration, seasons, thought, and trade. His favorite weapon of all things is the Morgul Blade. Gonna need to find some super special herbs or talk to an elf or something. JK, is a gauntlet. And his symbol is a silver hood containing stars and a comet. To perform Ing's deific obedience, wear gloves or a veil at all times. As long as you have followed this stricture for the last 24 hours, you gain a +4 sacred bonus on saving throws against effects that damage, drain, or penalize ability scores. Now that's weird right there. I assume it's just oversight, but usually the neutral gods will let you choose sacred or profane depending on your own alignment. Now this time you're neutral evil and have a sacred bonus. What? How you do it? That confuses me. Anyway, we're gonna call these exalted boons. It's Expeditious Retreat thrice a day, Invisibility twice a day, or Blink once a day. At 16th level, you can cast Plane Shift once a day, and at 20th level, once per day you can cast Maze. The resulting extra-dimensional labyrinth takes the form of an endless network of empty roads running through a lonely forest. Conversely, you can also choose to target yourself with this, in which case you travel to that same extra-dimensional crossroads along with any willing targets within 100 feet. And you and those targets can stay there indefinitely without need of food or drink. Anyone brought there by this second method can leave the crossroads at any time by willing it, but can't return unless you go grab them with another use of this ability. So yeah, that's what we got. Let's whip up 2 more, shall we? Sentinel boons! It's Ant Hall thrice a day, Dark Vision twice a day, or Gaseous Form once a day. At 16th level, so long as your entire form is covered, with no skin showing or visible, so worshippers of Ing will need to take pains to ensure they cannot be seen through a hood, but a helmet or a mask also works. Any attack you make is considered to have the Ghost Touch special ability. In addition, a number of times per day, equal to your Wisdom bonus, minimum 1, as a swift action, you may transport yourself from your space to any space within medium range that you are aware of. When you do so, you walk in a straight line from your space to that space, though it takes only a swift action, and you are considered to be incorporeal for the purpose of passing through solid objects but not creatures. This provokes attacks of opportunity as normal. At 20th level, the range of this ability increases to long range. It no longer provokes attacks of opportunity, and if your movement would pass through an anti-magic field or something similar, you may immediately make a caster level check to dispel the effect. And Evangelist boons! It's Expeditious Retreat thrice a day, Commune with Birds twice a day, or once a day, Aura of the Unremarkable. At 16th level, choose a number of allies equal to your Wisdom bonus. So long as you and those allies are not being overtly hostile, rude, or otherwise causing a disturbance, NPCs that are not actively attacking you all have a starting attitude of indifferent, unless they are already friendly or helpful. If you or your allies have wronged an NPC in the past, or that NPC would have reason to cause you harm, such as someone who seeks you out in revenge for the death of a loved one, or other plot items as well, your call GMs, they may ignore this effect, and if for any reason you or your allies become hostile or otherwise draw attention to yourself in a negative way, this effect immediately ends. This is a mind-affecting effect. And at 20th level, once per day, you and a number of allies you designate, equal to your Wisdom bonus, may instantly appear at any point that you have previously traveled to, as if casting Greater Teleport. Though this can cross planar boundaries. Man, I just want to say it was really hard to not be like, War Priesty Gauntlet things, but that's definitely something you can do with Ing. Anyway, for that Crusade Planar Adventures boon, Ing sends you a weird dead horse thing, and you have to go hunt some hobbitses. No, JK. Actually, no, un-JK. I sort of like accidentally what I just came up with making that joke, sure. For the next 30 days, you may cast Phantom Steed at will, caster level equaling your hit dice. Sure, sounds great. Now, worshipping this guy is pretty interesting. Ing is an example not of a deity that we've taken from the real world, not a deity that yours truly has converted over, or a deity that involves representation, a hero for people on planet Earth, or the factions of Golarion. Rather, Ing is a concept, and a really interesting one at that. The philosophy behind Ing is a very valid point. If any of us, right now, just left our places of living and went walking down the street, whether they pass us in a car, are walking the other way, so on and so forth, the people that we pass are people that we have no idea what their intentions are. For all we know, they might be super nice and friendly and helpful, people going about their day. For all we know, they've had a really bad day and just want to be left alone. Not to put too super fine a point on it, but for all we know, they're actively going to a bank to rob the thing. Is that a bit of a jump? Maybe, but you don't know. Discretion is the better part of Ing's valor, especially in a realm like the First World, where basically the only rule is there are no rules. Ing makes a wonderful deity, in my opinion, for a ranger, a druid, any of the survival-y tracky classes, or characters who oftentimes spend most of their life on the road. Yeah, you can get the experiences, you probably should, but you should also keep your weapons close because you never know, right? And that's a mechanic I certainly would introduce in my games if I had someone who worshipped Ing. The random encounter means a lot more when you're always threat assessing people, or at least staying cautious yourself when random travelers pass you on the road. One man's happy Varisian caravan who's come to play triple triad with you is another man's Zarni who've come to kill you in your sleep and rob you. Suddenly we've put intrigue into the travel game, which makes the games that take place over long periods of open travel, which can get boring and redundant after a while, stay spicy. I love it. 100%. This is probably my favorite eldest, at least on flavor, so far. But what do you think about Ing? Have we worshipped him? Do you think we can start a GoFundMe to get some black dye so this long-lost Nazgul can return to Mordor? Or is he like the good Nazgul? Has he come back in our hour of need? Is he Ing the White? Let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it more there. We've got a special episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship coming up for you next week. Courtesy of Paizo Productions is coming from Book 5 of the Tyrant's Grasp adventure path, where we see Southern Arcadia. It's not just Kazutal anymore, kids. Straight from Born by the Sun's Grace. Next week it's all about Barzak, the Passage. See you then.